Hello. My name's Lucas, and today we'll be ranking the gym leaders. So it looks like starting off, we've got Gen 7. So first one up is Melina. Now, for me, I think Elena is one of the most blandest, just bred tier gym leaders. So for that, he's going in the D tier. Now, for her, I actually forgot her name, but I remember she had a better personality than Milena, so she's going in the C tier. Next up is Kiawe. He had pretty cool hair, and his design's pretty cool, so he's going in the B tier. Mallow, she was pretty forgettable. Sophocles, he had a pretty cool arc of learning how to maintain the gym by himself and not rely on his friend. So for that, he's going in the B tier. I kind of forget her, so she's going in the D tier. The artist, same with her. She is going in the D tier. Now, I guess Kahunas count as gym leaders, I guess, according to this list. So I actually forget all of their names. Well, that I didn't like Gen 7 that much. It's probably my least favorite gen. So yeah, he was pretty cool, I guess. He's C tier. Her, she didn't really impact the story or anything like that, so he's going in the D tier. Him, I liked his chill and laid back personality, so he's going in the A tier. His design is also pretty cool. Her, yeah, I forget kind of who she is. She goes in the D tier. Well, it looks like we're on Gen 3 now, and guess what? I actually know their names. So, starting with Roxanne, I don't think she was very good, so she's gonna go in the D tier. Brawly, his design's kind of cool. He's going in the VC tier. Now for Watson, the whole side quest with New Marvel and all that was pretty cool. So for that, he's going in the B tier. I think he's like one of the only gym leaders that actually has a side quest centered around him, and you can also go into his apartment. Now on to Flannery. Not much to say about her, but there's a theory going around that she's related to Kabu, the Gen 8 fire type gym leader, because he comes from Hoenn. So who knows? Maybe she is actually related to him. And I believe she also talks about how she's new to being a gym leader, and that her father gave her the keys to the gym, and I'm guessing that father is Kabu. So, yeah, the theory might be true, but who knows? Now with Norman, he is the only father in a Pokemon game. Yeah. And there was a pretty cool arc of how the main protagonist surpasses his father, kind of like the new generation surpassing the old. So for that, he's going in the A tier. Next is Winona, and again, like Flannery, not much to say about her. Though I've heard her I've heard her Altaria is notorious for sweeping teams, so if I ever do a Gen 3 Nuzlocke, I better watch out for that. Now with Tate and Liza, they were actually kind of cool. Like, if they were psychic twins, so they repeat each other's sentences, and also they were, I think, the only gym leaders to have double battles because it was a new concept of Gen 3. So for that, they're going in the B tier. Actually, no, I changed my mind. That's the A tier. Now, next up is Wallace. He wasn't that interesting. His puzzle in the remakes were so just blatantly hard. Yeah. Now, I've never played Emerald. I'm pretty sure this guy comes from Emerald. Now, I'm just gonna go off of design. I have seen his design before, and I'd say it looks pretty cool. So for that, he's going in the S tier, the first S tier, because his design looks pretty cool. Okay, we're on to Gen 2 now, starting off with Falconer, and again, I really like his design. It's got kind of a Japanese aesthetic, so he's going in the S tier. Now, next up is Bugsy. For the longest time, I thought he was a girl, but it turns out he's a guy. But again, not much to be said about him, so he's going in the D tier. Now, next up is the Devil Incarnate herself, Whitney. And Whitney deserves her own tier. Yes, the Devil tier. That's where she belongs. Next up is Morty, and I like his chill vibe. So he's going in the A tier. His design is also pretty cool. Next up is Chuck, and there's not much to be said about him, so he's going in the D tier. Next up is Jasmine, and again, not much to be said, so she's going in the D tier. Next up is Price, and if you've read the Pokemon Adventures Gold and Silver manga, he was a pretty cool character. Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but for how he was in the manga, he's going in the A tier. Next up is Claire, and her design's really cool. Yeah. So I think I'll place her in the S tier. Yeah. I think judging on the S tier, I think I like the color blue. Okay. Now we're on Kalos, and Kalos is also one of my least favorite gens. Well, actually, no. X and Y were pretty bad, but Omega Ruby and Delta Sapphire were actually pretty good games. So only half of Gen 6 was bad. And this is... I'm blanking on her name, but I'm just gonna call her Bugsy 2, because that's what she literally is. She's going in the D tier. Now, if I also forgot his name. He fought with fossils. That was kind of a cool concept. He's going in the C tier. Now, next up is Karina, and she, yeah, her saving grace is that she used Omega, that's pretty much the only thing that's saving her from going into D tier. Next up is, I forgot his name, but I'll just call him Gardenia 2. He's going in the D tier. Next up is Clement, and in the anime, from what I saw of it, he was okay. So he's going in the B tier, but in the games he's pretty bad. His saving grace is in the anime. Next up is, again, I forgot her name. She is going in the C tier only because I like her kimono-esque dress-like thing. Next up is, oh man, I also forgot her name, but her design was also pretty cool. So she's going in the C tier. Next up is Wolfric, who pretty much just deserves his own tier. Yeah, the Wolfric tier, because he's the final gym leader in Kalos, right? But none of his Pokemon know 4 moves. They know 3 moves. Yeah, a real tough one there. All right, now we've entered Gen 1. Yeah. First up is Brock, and again he is saved because of the anime. He was pretty cool in the original anime, so he's going in the A tier. Same. I actually disliked Misty a bit. I don't like Misty as much as I like Brock. So she's going in the B tier. She is another character saved by the anime. Now Lt.Surge. He is going in the Chad tier because he literally fought in a Pokemon war. Yeah. Lt.Surge goes in the Chad tier. Now next up is Erica, and I like her Japanese kimono design. So she's going in the B tier. Now next up is Koga, and it's as Jaywitz said, he's a ninja. Now next up is Sabrina. Her whole her psychic powers are pretty cool, especially in the anime. And again, in the anime is a saving grace, so she goes in the A tier. Next up is Blaine. Now Blaine in the manga, I'm not gonna spoil it, but he was a pretty cool character in the manga. So the manga is saving him. He goes in the S tier. And next up is Giovanni. I'm sorry. And he is gonna go in the. He's gonna go in the A tier. Yeah. Next up is Janine, Koga's daughter. She's not as cool as Koga, so, but she is still a ninja. Or I believe the correct term is Kunomichi. So she's going in the B tier. Now next up is Blue, the original rival. He was pretty cool, and he's the only gym leader to use more than one type. So for that, he's going in the Chad tier. And next up is Gen 4, and I haven't played Diamond, Pearl, or Platinum. I've played Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Well, only silver, but yeah. So I'm just gonna grade these guys on their design and from what I know of them. So for Rourke, he's pretty boring. He's going in the D tier. Well, actually, he also uses fossils. He's going in the C tier. Next up is Gardenia. She's pretty boring. I don't know her name, but I think from what I remember from like the anime, she's pretty boring, so she's going in the D tier. Next up is Crasher Wake, and he donates money to charity. I think I remember hearing about that. So for that, he's going in the chat tier. Next up is I forgot her name, but I think she talks in like a French accent in like the anime. But for that, she's going in the C tier, saved by the anime. Next up is Byron. I'm pretty sure his hair is pretty cool, so he's going in the C tier. Next up is I don't know her name, but she's not that interesting. She's going in the D tier. Next up is Volkner, I think. He looks like he looks like Minato from Naruto. Kind of just like give Minato a modern looking jacket and clothes. And bam, you've got Volkner. Now Volkner is gonna go in the saved by Minato. He goes in the C tier. Next up is Gen 5. Yeah, you know that my favorite Gen. It was the first Gen I started with, Gen 5 with Black and White 2. So I'm a bit I'm a bit biased. Now Silent, their whole concept was kind of cool. A gym leader based on your starter, so he's gonna go in the C tier actually. Chili's hair is cool, so he's going in the B tier. And Cress, C tier. Next up is I don't know her name. I'm blinking on it probably because I rem- I remember I played Black a couple years ago. She was second gym leader, though I forget her name, but her Watchhog was insane. So for that, she's going in the in the A tier for a super hard second gym fight. Next up is Berg, and I remember Berg was pretty hard for me playing Gen 5. So for that, he's going in the A tier. Actually, no, I changed my mind. Berg's going straight down to the Devil tier. Next up is Elisa. She is gonna go in the C tier. No, actually B tier, because she actually changed design between games. Next up is Clay, and Clay's city theme, Driftwell City, is pretty much one of the best themes ever in a Pokemon game. So for that, he's going in the chat tier. Also, he's got a suit and a Doug Dimmadome hat. So for that, he's in the Chad tier. Next up is Skyla. She's not that interesting. She's going in the D tier. Next up is Bryson. Shout out to Bryson, man, if you actually remember that. Uh, I like his monk design, so for that he's going in the A tier. Next up is Drayden. He's just plain cool, so he's going in the S tier. His beard's also pretty cool. Next up is Iris. Now I only see her as a champion, so I'm just gonna rate her as a champion. And she was super hard, so she's going in the S tier. Pokemon were also pretty cool too. Next up is it's the Black Two Gym Leaders. So Charon's gonna go in the A tier. He was pretty cool, and he was also your rival from the first game, Black. Next up is Roxy, and she's got a pretty cool personality. So for that, she's going in the A tier. And from Merlin, he's kind of cool, I guess. His pants are pretty cool. So for that, he's going in the B tier. Well, thank you for watching me, and bye. Hey, thanks for watching. Here's something funny about my first video. When I first tried to render it, it was a MXF file. And it was 97 gigs. I'm new to video making, so to me I was like, well, I guess that's normal. And after realizing it would actually take a fat century to actually upload to YouTube, I found out I was supposed to make an MP4 file, and then I tried to upload it. It got stuck on the SD, and for the whole day I just kept re-uploading. But it's finally out. Just something I thought was kind of funny. Thanks for watching. Bye.